The Galactic Council's xenobiologist, Zeftar, adjusted his environmental suit's atmospheric processors as he stepped onto the shuttle's landing platform. Around him, 36 representatives from various species did the same, their breathing apparatus humming with the effort of filtering Kepler 442b's toxic atmosphere. "I still don't understand how they survived here for 3 generations, muttered Counselor Vexani through her translator, her 6 eyes blinking independently behind reinforced crystal lenses. The atmospheric readings alone should have killed them within cycles. Zeftar consulted his datapad, reviewing the planetary assessment that had brought them here. Kepler 442b, designated Paradise World Class 7 by the Council's Terraforming Division, possessed everything needed for a perfect colony: abundant water, fertile soil, a stable climate, and breathable atmosphere for most Council species. The only problem was the humans who had somehow gotten there first. "Remember," announced Senior Diplomat Korthval, his massive frame casting shadows over the smaller delegates, "these humans are primitives. They arrived here in a single damaged vessel with basic supplies. Our projections showed they should have died out within 2 standard years. Yet somehow, they've not only survived, but thrived." The delegation moved forward through what the humans called New Denver, though it bore no resemblance to any civilized settlement Zeftar had seen. Instead of the expected prefabricated emergency shelters, he observed structures that seemed to grow from the landscape itself. Buildings crafted from local stone and timber, connected by winding paths that followed the natural contours of the hills. Human children ran between the buildings, their laughter carrying on the wind. They wore simple clothing and appeared healthy, their skin bronzed by the planet's sun. Most shocking of all, they weren't wearing any breathing apparatus. "Impossible," whispered Dr. Yolandra, the Council's leading atmospheric specialist. "The oxygen content here is 37%. That should cause oxygen toxicity in most species within hours." "Maybe that's why they're dying out," suggested Counselor Vexani hopefully. They weren't dying out. If anything, the humans appeared to be flourishing. A woman approached the delegation, her stride confident, despite the high gravity that had several council members struggling. She was tall, by human standards, with graying hair pulled back and hands that showed the wear of decades of manual labor. "Welcome to paradise," she said, a slight smile playing at her lips. "I'm Sarah Chen, elected representative of New Denver Colony. We've been expecting you." Zeftar stepped forward, his suit's translator converting his words into the primitive human language. "I am Senior Xenobiologist Zeftar of the Galactic Council. We are here to conduct a formal assessment of your situation." Sarah's smile widened. "Our situation? You mean our home?" "This planet was designated for Council development," Korthval interjected, his voice carrying the authority of someone accustomed to obedience. "Your presence here is irregular." "Irregular?" Sarah laughed, a sound that somehow carried both warmth and steel. "We've been here 47 years. We've buried our dead in this soil and seen 3 generations born under these skies. What's irregular is a bunch of strangers showing up to tell us we don't belong." Dr. Yolandra activated her scanner, taking readings from the humans. "Fascinating. Their cellular structure has adapted to the high oxygen content. And look at their bone density. They've actually grown stronger in the increased gravity." "How?" Zeftar couldn't hide his scientific curiosity. "Your species lacks the biological flexibility of most sapients. You should have required extensive genetic modification or technological augmentation to survive here." Sarah shrugged. "We adapted. Humans are good at that. But the radiation exposure," Dr. Yolandra pressed, "the atmospheric pressure variations, the indigenous microorganisms, made us sick at first," Sarah admitted. "We lost 11 people in the first year. But we learned. We built immunity. We changed our farming techniques. We made it work." Counselor Vexani's translator crackled with incredulity. "You just endured? Without proper medical facilities or terraforming equipment?" "We had each other," Sarah said simply. "And we had something else." Which was? Zeftar asked. Sarah gestured to the settlement around them, to the children playing, to the gardens growing between the buildings, to the humans working together to maintain their community. We had nowhere else to go. This wasn't paradise to us. It was survival. And when survival is your only choice, you find ways to make it work. An elderly human man joined them, his weathered face creased with what Zeftar's cultural database identified as humor. Heard we got visitors, he said to Sarah. They the ones want to kick us off our land? Now, Marcus, Sarah warned, but her tone held affection rather than reproach. Marcus studied the delegation with sharp eyes. Funny thing about paradise, he said conversationally. Every species that's come through here, and you folks ain't the first, they all talk about how perfect this place is. Perfect climate, they say. Perfect atmosphere. Perfect everything. He picked up a handful of soil, letting it run through his fingers. But perfect for who? That perfect atmosphere nearly killed us. That perfect climate includes storms that can level buildings and heat waves that last for weeks. Those perfect microorganisms gave us diseases we'd never seen. Then why stay? Korthval demanded. Marcus looked at him as if the question itself was incomprehensible. Because it's home. You don't abandon home just because it's hard. You make it better. You adapt. You survive. And eventually, if you're lucky and stubborn enough, you thrive. Zeftar looked around the settlement with new eyes. The humans hadn't just survived on this world. They had become part of it. Their buildings complemented the landscape rather than dominating it. Their agriculture worked with the planet's natural systems rather than against them. They had achieved something the Council's most advanced terraforming technology couldn't: true harmony between a species and their environment. The Council will need to reconsider our development plans, he said quietly. Sarah nodded. You're welcome to visit any time. Just remember, this is our home now, and we're not leaving. As the delegation prepared to depart, Zeftar took one last look at the human settlement. In his report, he would recommend that Kepler 442b be reclassified, not as a paradise world awaiting development, but as something far more valuable, a testament to the most dangerous force in the galaxy: human stubbornness, applied with love to a place they chose to call home.